Welcome everyone to this podcast. In today's podcast, I have the beautiful Frankie, and she is a heart activation coach and a theta healer, and she has supported so many women really heal past paradigms and go into a new paradigm to build foundation that is sustainable and to create the life and relationship and business that they love. And I would like her to introduce herself for you guys. So, welcome, Frankie.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to speak to you. I know we have amazing things to discuss, and I'm so excited for people to hear your story.
Amazing, amazing. So I'm Frankie Seacon, and I work with heart-led entrepreneurs to support them to really create success in all areas of life from
Yeah,
the inside out, to really get out of our heads and into our heart to create that like sky high, wild, soulful success, but also thrive in all of the areas that matter. So thrive in purpose, thrive in love, thrive with our children, thrive in our health, like really creating that success in all areas through becoming the person that we are inside, through coming home to ourselves, through remembering our soul's truth, from releasing our limitations and expressing our truth in life in all areas.
yeah. So that's so beautiful. I think this type of work is so sacred, and I'm so grateful for women like yourself that, are there to support other women through the things you have been through yourself, the things you're helping women to technically, you know, come out of something that you've struggled with. So that's such a beautiful, I think, profession to have, and I'm sure it brings so much fulfillment for you. So I'd like to talk more about the fulfillment because it's so soulful. I'd like to ask you, you've had a career before in
Mm-hmm.
global advertising, and tell me more about this and how you transitioned to what you're doing now.
Yes, I'd love to. So I'm a 4-6 generator in human design. So for anyone who knows human design, my 6 line means that I like to teach through my own experiences. So I love this question.
Yeah.
So I was in marketing. My background's in performance marketing and business, and I was in that space for 20 years within the corporate environments and also within marketing and digital marketing agencies out in Dubai. So I worked with huge brands, the Commonwealth Games, the Olympics,
Mhm.
Emirates, Ferrari, huge brands, startup businesses, and really every type of business and every type of industry in between. And I was good at it. I climbed the ladder. I created a successful career in marketing. And I was in very much in that hamster wheel, very much like creating higher success, striving for the next achievement. And I realised that I was going in autopilot. I moved from Scotland to Dubai in 2014, and I'd continued to create higher levels of traditional success outside. And in 2017, I was in the position where I was pregnant with my first daughter, Sienna, and I'd achieved a level of success in what felt at the time like my dream job from the outside. I was working in fashion, working with luxury labels. It'd been a position that I had strived for years. It had been in my manifestation list. And really, I should have been the happiest person because on paper, I had everything that I wanted. Okay, I had a 6-figure tax free salary. I was newly married to my soulmate. We had a beautiful life. We were traveling the world. We were very, very blessed. And whilst I was so grateful for everything, I was also deeply unfulfilled on the inside. I had experienced burnout cycles in my corporate career and in my marketing career on repeat, really for years. At that point in my life, I hadn't done the inner work as we know it to be. I hadn't done any therapy. I hadn't done any healing. So my identity was very much attached to my role. Okay, the validation was very much attached to this level of success and having this life. But
Mm,
honestly, in 2017, when I was pregnant with my first baby, the only way that I can describe it is it was like my whole body rejected that life. Now, I had been going in autopilot for years. I'd been the person who worked weekends, who worked late nights, who sat at a Blackberry by the pool. And but I wasn't looking to leave. I just accepted, well, this is what it takes to be successful. I'd accepted that. But when I was having a baby, it really was a divine wake-up call. My whole body rejected it, and it felt like my soul was pushing me off a cliff. I could not continue with that life. Okay, so this becoming a mum really was part of my like awakening journey. This was the catalyst that started everything. So when I was 3 months pregnant, I actually walked away from corporate without a plan.
mm,
Okay, no plan, no backup plan. I didn't know what my next moves would be, and I took some time out. Took some time out to have my baby,
mhm,
to learn and enjoy being a first time mom. And I know that you're a first time mom, and in this precious, precious time right now. And I just took time out. I just took time out. And I was very grateful and very lucky that my husband supported me in this decision because we had the same values.
mhm,
But in reality, our budget more than halved. I I was the highest income earner. Okay, so our budget more than half, but because we had the same values in the sense that we wanted our child to come into a peaceful environment and we wanted to really focus on being that family unit without me completely burnt out and anxious and stressed, I
mhm,
decided to take that space. And I took some time to figure it out. I did some freelancing. I still very much saw myself as a marketer. I didn't have another lane. So I did contract work, I did freelance work, and I went back to work with another agency for a
mm,
little while as well. And then in 2020, I set up my business, but I was initially a marketing coach. I set up my coaching business as a marketing coach as we were going into lockdowns in Dubai during the pandemic. So I set up the coaching business, and
mhm,
a week later, we went into lockdown. And that was actually really good for my business because out there, I worked with a lot of entrepreneurs who who had been used to getting business through networking.
mm,
Okay, and all of a sudden their business slowed down, and I was speaking to like these men who were in Dubai and responsible for keeping their family in Dubai and holding a visa in Dubai and paying for private healthcare and private school fees. And I helped a lot of entrepreneurs to pivot
mm,
and digitally transform their business. And for me, that was such a beautiful feeling to help people to actually make a difference in people's lives as opposed to a brand.
mhm,
And that's what took me down this road. And that's what like sparked a great deal of curiosity within me to really tap into my deeper purpose.
mhm,
And I thought it was still in business and in marketing, and I started working with a spiritual business coach, Natasha Rockstrom, out in Dubai. And in our first session, she told me that I was going to retrain and become a healer. And I was like, I don't think so. Like, that's not me. Um, can you just teach me how to do business? She created a great deal of success in her business. And I loved how she did it. But when I started experiencing the energy work for myself, it
Mm,
completely and utterly transformed my life. It completely changed my whole experience of myself. Like it was so transformational. It changed my marriage. We healed my marriage. We had two under two babies at this point, and we were hitting up our limits. We hadn't learned to work through certain things. We hadn't learned that the level of emotional intelligence that we have now. We didn't have certain tools to work through challenges whilst being in COVID with two under two and new businesses and things like this. But doing the energy work just
mm,
completely transformed that. It changed my life. And within a few months, I retrained and I became a theta healer.
mm,
And it's almost 4 years that I've been working in healing now. And initially, I completely abandoned the business side. I
mm,
was just this spiritual energy worker, and I didn't tell anyone about my business background. And I supported people to release trauma and release limiting beliefs and heal from the past and manifest amazing things. And we worked on personal power and feminine energy and relationships. And
mm.
as I've gone deeper into this work, I realised that, of course, our journey is our journey, is our journey, is the journey. So I love to sync the business
Mhm.
with the spirituality now. So we're getting out our head and into our heart, but
Mm.
we do business from that way. We do business heart first, energy first, and also syncing like family freedom's a core value of mine. Like I'm a hopeless romantic, having that movie love every day. I believe that that's all available to us. I believe that everything is available that matters and is important. And that's what I love to support people to bring through.
That's so beautiful. I mean, your story is so beautiful, and I think it's going to resonate with so many women because there are a lot of women who are kind of stuck in that cycle of burnout and, striving hard for something they don't even know what it is. And they think if I get this, then I'll be happy, and it's just not there. And I think we can be stuck in that deluded pattern. And that's why your work is so, so important, to be available for women that really desire. And I'm sure so many women, if not all women, desire this so much to have, to do something that they love, and to do something that they can do at the same time while they're raising kids and, nurturing their families, because it's hard when you have like a normal job. It's difficult to do that because I've had a normal job. My journey is a little bit different to yours. I had a job. Um, uh, I stopped working and started my business um, ma many years before I got married and had children. I recently had a child, so for me, it's kind of like I had my spiritual healing business um, already when I got married and when I had a child, and I was so so grateful. And I remember when I had my job and I was burnt out and I couldn't do it anymore, and I literally couldn't go to work for 2 months before I left, because my body was rejecting it, just like in your experience. And now that was 7 years ago. And now, 7 years later, when I had the baby, I was so grateful. I was so grateful that I can, I can take as much time as I need to because I designed my business. The structure of my business is in a such a way that I still get paid whether I show up or not. So I was so grateful for this, and I thought, you know what, all women deserve to have this option. They deserve to know that this is possible. And I love my job so much that, I went back to work when my baby was like 3, 4 months because I wanted to do it, and I don't do it much. I just a few hours a week. this is what I choose to do. And I am planning to do more as she grows up. But for now, I really want to enjoy my time with her. And I think that's so important. And we all, as women, desire this as much as we don't know this, because sometimes we can be emotionally unavailable with our kids as well, if we are, in general, emotionally unavailable. So we can be dismissive to our kids and really not be there for them. So it takes, I think, emotional intelligence to be there for our children, to want to be there most of the time. But I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity. And this is thanks to all the inner work that I've done on myself. And this work is so sacred because that's what it creates for us women. And I think this is such a beautiful time that we live in, that this is available to us, right? So it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. Well, I've got goosebumps, and what a gift to your child and a gift to yourself to have structured and set up your life like this, that you can take the space and you have the choice to like create when you feel the energy to create. And it really is just so beautiful. Really, what you're doing is incredible. So beautiful.
Thank you so much. And this is my desire for our listeners and for, all women, if this is what they desire too as well, of course. But yeah, and so your work involves aligning your soul's truth as well with everything. Can you tell us more about this? You're, helping soulful leaders dissolve old paradigms, and how do you really do that? How do you help them with their businesses, to create the life that they desire? Maybe not the same as yours, but what they really deeply desire from their soul.
Exactly, exactly. And really, as we've touched on, our soul's truth is all different. Like my truth is different to your truth, and everyone listening here will have their own version of what a rich life looks like. And the way that I do it and the lens that I take people through is really about going beyond the mind and the body and tapping into our truth through the portal of the heart. Specifically, it's the heart work that I just love to do with people.
Mhm.
And our heart is a portal of connection to our soul. Okay, so it's through the heart and doing the heart work that we can access those deeper levels of truth of ourselves, that ancient wisdom that we're carrying in our energy field and in our body that goes back through many lifetimes and also through many dimensions into the future. Okay, so it's very much about syncing our human part with our energetic part. So getting out the head and into the heart to tap into the soul and also access the wisdom from the universe, God, like whatever your word is for the higher power, and really start to explore what is that truth for you. Like, what does that look like in your business? Okay, what's the next level of success? What is the biggest vision available to you? What is the most expansive, loving, connected relationship available to you? Okay, how can we reimagine, untag from where you are now or what you've learned in the past or what you've experienced up until now? Because quite often our truth is completely different from anything that we've experienced. Okay, it's our soul's truth, it's our potential. So it's supporting people to untag from what has been and really start to live into that potential, what it gets to look like. Okay. And when we have clarity over that through the portal of the heart, which is not bound by time, and this is all scientifically proven, it's not bound by time. So when we can go in and look at our truth in other dimensions, and for some people, they might go in and see themselves living in a different country. For some people, they'll go in and see like huge expansions in their vision. They might see a different industry, they might see different investments, they might see a new team hire, and that new team hire is the piece that pivots the business. If they've been carrying certain things themselves, they might go in and see like a lens through the eyes of their partner, and seeing that lens, like it unblocks something that completely changes their marriage, it reimagines their marriage. Okay. they might go in and see a new way of life for them and their family. At the end of last year, for me, when I was going in and doing this work, I saw that my family and I were traveling like a quarter of the year, 10 to 12 weeks a year. And it came through so clear, so clear. We always liked holidays, but we'd never traveled that much.
Mhm.
But as that's unfolded, that's what we're doing now. And it wasn't that we had to like manufacture all of this. It just came through in a soul's vision, and because it's true, it just unfolded in a really natural way. So it's supporting people to really get clear, have that crystal clear clarity, going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into that soul's truth, and then doing the belief coding around that. Okay, so when someone is clear on their truth, we then get to align them from the inside out, create that internal environment that is a match for
Mhm.
that truth that they know that their heart desires. And when we do that, we start to collapse time around bringing that into reality. So
Mhm.
there is healing work in it, and there always will be healing work as part of this. But
Mhm.
I'm way more focused on future work. I'm way more focused on calibrating people to their vision than
Mhm.
focusing on pain in the past. And yes, we all carry trauma, and like part of the process is normalizing that and releasing that and doing the healing. But where attention goes, energy flows, right? So for me and the way that I work and how my clients desire to like receive the work, it's more focused in the future energy work.
Mhm. That's beautiful, yes. And even in my own personal work, I've realized, I've done a lot of past healing work and, childhood and ancestral and past life. And you can do that forever, really. There's so much. But at some point, you realize that maybe if I just look to the future and all of that will collapse by itself. And of course, some of it is necessary. Maybe there are some things that we do need to look at, the ones that are really keeping us stuck. But then once we move through that, we can really focus on the future and design our lives the way we desire. And the past will automatically kind of collapse on itself. So from everything you described, I'm sensing that you work with people from kind of in every stages of their kind of business. From the beginning, you have something from, for someone who just is starting or hasn't even started their business yet. And for someone who is, has had their business for a while and just wants to kind of grow their business or expand, or can you tell us more about this and maybe the difference?
Yeah. So I love working with people at every stage in their journey. I have people come to me who just have concepts and ideas. I have people come to me who have never set up a business before, and I can help them through my own experience and support them with the strategy and the mindset and the energetics. And I also work with people who are really high level and people who honestly are way further ahead than me in terms of business and business success. They have empires and like multiple seven-figure companies and different investments. And like I work with people like that on the heart. So a
Mhm.
lot of people have created external success. I've been working with a gentleman recently, and he's created more money than he knows what to do with. And he celebrated it with his family, but he's burnt out, he's unhappy, he's grieving because he's missed so many years of his kids, and his marriage had felt really quite he'd been hitting upper limits in his marriage. With people at that level, there is nothing that I can really teach them in business, but what I can do is I can help them get out their head and into their heart. I can help them to attack, like connect into their soul. I can help them to go deeper into purpose. And usually for people like that, it's about creating a legacy. It's not about money. It's about going into purpose, doing something that matters, creating a legacy business, doing something that has that ripple effect and creates results that are way beyond financial gain, and supporting them to like experience some of that abundance in their personal life as well. Usually it's around healing relationships, calming down the nervous system, allowing them to settle in their body and experience stillness and space in their body. So
Mhm.
I love teaching from my experience, and I love helping people to build and get things set up and like create the offers. And it's so exciting when someone gets their first sale. I had a client message me yesterday. She sold her first high ticket offer, and she'd been a yoga instructor, just like selling sessions by the hour, and she sold her first high ticket, and it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And it lights me up equally to
Mhm.
someone who has just done $1 million deal, you know, the feeling's the same. Or if someone has a beautiful dinner with their partner,
Yeah.
and and the abundance is flowing in a different way because it flows in all the ways.
That's so beautiful. Yes. And burnout can really be not just from business, but can be from life as well. And I think burnout is not so much of overdoing, but it's overthinking. You know what I've realized that when you think about something too much, you can get burnt out. Even if you're sitting down watching TV all day long or just doing nothing, but just overthinking, that will make you exhausted. So, definitely, bringing someone from their head to their heart is going to make such a big difference in their lives. And
Mm,
it's such an amazing work. And you talk about like the strategies to help someone with burnout. Can you tell us like a few top strategies to doing what you love without burning out?
yes, definitely. So I always start everything when I want to create a change. So untagging from burnout into spaciousness and moving through flow, I would always look at your internal environment first and start to work on the root cause of burnout. So but the more that I've done this work, the more I realise that we're all the same. And there's a few common upper limits
Mm,
that we all tend to hit that can result in burnout. So,
mm,
one of the upper limits is that we've learned to create through pain. Like, I must struggle, I must hustle, I must work hard. This is one that comes up again and again and again when I see people building their business. And when women are scaling their business, they feel like it's difficult to delegate. Or when they start to hire a team, it feels like they haven't achieved it, especially if they've been like self-made, if they've built it from the ground up and really struggled and put blood, sweat, and tears. It's really difficult to let go and receive. Okay, so that stems from a belief that I need to create through pain rather than creating through joy, creativity, inspiration, soul, right? So we change that belief.
mm,
The, the other one that comes up again and again, and this one is, oh, I just want every woman to have this, is that either or belief. I can have time or money.
mm,
Okay, this is one that I ran as well. When I was in corporate, I had money but no time. And
mm,
then when I left, I had no money, but I had loads of time. So I had to recode myself to believe that I get to have both, that I
mhm,
get to have success and love.
mm,
Okay, this one runs really, really deep. If I'm successful, I cannot have like a happy, healthy, like love life as well. I cannot be supported. So when we're in those survival success codes, it drives us to burnout. Okay, and we literally feel it. It's that undercurrent that just pushes us. So I would always say, first of all, it's looking at your belief coding and shifting the coding that is creating the burnout in the first place, and
mm,
recoding to the type of lifestyle, spaciousness, success that you desire.
mm,
And then there's the practical strategies. Like I plan my life, my day, my month, my weeks super intentionally. And believe me, I am not a planner by nature. I'm a very fly by the seat of my pants person. very intuitive. I've always been a bit of a wing it woman, but I really had to train myself to plan, especially like with a team, with a family, with like so many people who rely on me, who depend on me. There's so many other interdependencies. It's not just me. So I plan my time
Mm.
in alignment with what matters and what's important. And my family time always goes in the calendar first. So when I'm mapping out my year, all the school holidays are blocked out. They're just blocked out or partially blocked out. Um, Along with any family trips, anything that we want to do, that time's always blocked out. I also have time blocked out for me and my husband. We often do like overnight stays or weekend staycations together just to allow us to connect and have that time. And then I have my own time for like my spa days, the retreats that I go to that are simply just to pour into me and receive.
Mm.
Once the personal time is mapped out, I then plan everything in terms of my business. So the things that matter and the things that are important, those aligned actions that move the needle. And I've become more and more and more focused and disciplined
Mm.
that it has to be things that move the needle or I don't do it. I used to be that person with the big long to-do list and
Mm.
I attach my worth to the to-do list. Not anymore. I'm constantly coaching myself every day. What's the fastest path to cash? I
Mm.
ask myself, what's the one thing that I can do that will make everything else unnecessary?
Mm.
That's true when you've got a financial goal, a business results goal. It's true if you want to do something for your partner, but you don't have enough time. How can I make him feel loved? Like, what's the one thing that I can do that will dot 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 rather than like a whole list of things. So I do that as well. And the other thing that I do is I prioritize my rituals.
Mm.
Like without fail, it's just a daily non-negotiable. For me, it's in the morning. I have a window before anyone in the house is awake, and I do my own heart activation. And honestly, if I don't do that, I feel like I've not showered. It's so important for me to do that, for me to nurture my spiritual connection
Mm.
first thing in the morning, get out of my head and into my heart. I look at my own vision, my own life script. I look at what I'm manifesting in my life. I look at like where I can pour into people that day. I scan my clients, I scan my kids, and it's just refining that plan and creating that intention for your day
Yeah.
from heart. But I do that every day, every single day. Mhm.
I love that. I love the way you do that and also how you have designed your life. And I think that's so important for not just women, even men, because for men and women who have families, it's important for them to be involved with the family. And we know how many people they just kind of have the need to provide for the family and then they kind of neglect the family that they love so much that they're doing everything for, but they're neglecting the main point, which is spending time with them. And it really has to be intentional. It really has to be planned out. It's something that will really change our experience as a society, as a community, because there are so many people that are struggling with this and they're in a loop in a loop that is difficult to come out. So if we really change one by one, because life is really us living with our families, work, work is, if we're doing it for the money, we will be stuck in that cycle. But if we come out of it for a while and realize that, okay, if I do my soul mission, my soul purpose, I don't have to sacrifice my family time for that. I can actually, this comes first. Like you just said, you have your school holidays, booked. You can't work on those times, or holidays, or anything that you're doing with your family. Your time for you and your husband, time for you yourself. These are times, sacred times for you yourself. and you're not willing to sacrifice those for your work. And that's how it should be. And for so many of us, work comes first before everything. And this is where other areas of life struggle when we don't manage them properly. But we can have both, we can have all of it if we are able to manage that. So I really wanted to go to the next question in terms of creating that, but how can intuition, more about intuition, and how can intuition really help us in business to create that fulfillment?
Yes, I love this question. And I feel like intuition doesn't just help us in business to create that.
Mhm.
Our intuition leads the whole thing. It's through our intuition that we can create that. Okay, because if we're just stuck in our head thinking about a strategy or thinking about our goals or our vision for success, we're going to be super limited. Okay, as smart as a person is, as capable as a person is, as kind and loving as a person is, when life gets busy, like as you mentioned earlier in the conversation, we just get into overthinking. And this is where the mind is such a powerful tool, but it limits us so much. So I believe that intuition is the way forward in business, and it is through getting out our head and into our heart and tapping into that limitless side of us that we can truly see what our truth is in the family unit, how we desire to do life, and it's in the embodiment of that that we get to look that in and live into it. Okay, and I believe that the small things are the big things. So yes, it's great to go on family holidays, it's beautiful to travel, but it's also so important to sit down and have dinner together. Most nights it's important to sit down and have a chat. It's important to ask our kids, how did school go today, and listen and be able to sit and have the capacity to hear them and to see them and to understand when someone was mean to them at school and support them through that. And it's all in these little, the things that seem little but they're so important. Like I always feel the the small things are forever the big things.
Yeah.
Okay, if I wasn't doing any of the travel or any of that side of lifestyle, I would still feel so grateful and so connected. I would still feel that I had family freedom, and it's really from these micro moments. And
Mm.
it would be difficult if I was stuck in my head because I'm such a driven person. Okay, I'm sure, as with most people listening to this podcast, and I've been in those cycles where work has been first, and I've neglected my partner. So I'm so grateful that I started this journey
Mm.
as a newly married person and someone who was having a family, because I feel like I've been able to pour this into my family and transfer that wisdom and way of being. Like our family unit, I'm
Mm.
sure, looks completely different now than if I hadn't started the work a few years ago.
Mm.
So it is about like consistently going into the heart, but
Mhm.
not just once. It's that consistency, doing it daily, doing it on repeat,
Mhm.
choosing every single day. What do I want? What do I desire? What's in alignment? What
Mm.
does that look like for my family? What does my daughter need today? And I've got two daughters and they have different needs. My husband has different needs.
Mhm.
Okay, and tuning into them and tuning into their soul. Okay, so I connect with their souls and their higher selves
Mm.
again, and that creates a different connectedness and intimacy and closeness and fun
Yeah,
in the family unit as well. So I
definitely.
believe that the intuition and the heart, it doesn't just play a part.
Yeah.
I believe that it leads.
Hmm. Amazing. I love this. I love the way you connect with your daughters and your husband's higher self, just to kind of, tap into their energy and see what they desire, what they want, and meet their needs. And that's what true intimacy is. And I think as
Mm,
a society where we've kind of lost the art of intimacy, um, it's so important in this day and age to practice this sacred art of intimacy. It is just, life is just so beautiful this way. And yes, this is something that I would love everybody to experience and to see for themselves. Um, so this leads me to the next question, which is redefining success. Often we see on social media, on everywhere, TV, what success looks like. But is it really the truth of what success is? And has it changed over time? Um, we see the traditional successes like, the money and the things and the way we look and everything. What do you think about this? What do you want to share about this? Because this is something you yourself have been through. In Dubai, you were, so-called successful by, people's standards. When people look at you, be like the most successful person, but then something didn't feel right. So can you tell us more about this and what true success actually is?
Yes, I believe that we are in a paradigm shift in success. It's like we've been sold a story of success. We
Yeah.
must have the house, the car, and there's been this whole system around success, and we were always striving for something, whether it's the promotion, the new car, the new holiday, okay? But I believe that so many of us are waking up. I believe that there's a movement happening all across the world of people who have literally taken the red pill from the matrix and realized that this is just an illusion and it's something, a story that's been sold to us, and it's not true, because there's been too many of us who have experienced burnout, who have created dis-ease, unhappiness through striving for this dream and then realize that it's not a dream. So, what I believe to be true is success is when we realize that the pot of gold isn't at the end of the rainbow. Like, we chase goals, 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 more money, another car, another holiday, big dreams. It's not at the end of the rainbow. If we can get to a place where we truly like experience gold in the journey through doing our soul's work, through being in alignment with our strategy, our soul strategy, where we like have this abundance in our life, okay, or acceptance, or have the emotional intelligence and the grit to move through the hard times, because there will be hard times, but still have the lessons and the gratitude, and know that we are on our path, and know that we're in alignment with ourselves. I truly believe that this is success. I believe success is truth. I believe success is when we're in alignment with our purpose. And I believe success is when we're making progress towards that. Because otherwise, we're just striving for something and it never ends. So, if you're someone who is on this journey of growth and evolution, you're always going to be expanding into new levels of yourself. There's always going to be a bigger vision that you're calling in, right? So, if you're constantly in this loop, then you're never really there. But if you can really like anchor in and find this gold in the journey, okay. And I learned this in my second year of business, and really, but my first year in business, I did really well. I had a great first year in business. I was like, whoa, I've cracked the code. And my second year in business, I crashed. So financially, like I literally started from scratch again in the business. So I learned that lesson when I had nothing. Okay, so I learned that lesson really when I was starting from scratch. I'd invested in things that were out of alignment. I had followed strategies that were not my truth. Okay, so I decided at that point I wasn't going to wait until I made the money. I wasn't going to do that. I decided that I took the lesson. I took the lesson from clients that I'd worked with who had made millions, who still felt like empty inside. And I decided that I was going to choose to feel the gold and choose to prioritize my own intuition and prioritize my connection with source above and beyond anything else, because I'd seen so many people make money and then decide, oh, it's the journey. This isn't what's important. So I
Mhm.
decided to take that lesson and do it before the money came. And then I've built things from there. So I would say to anyone, regardless of what stage in your journey, success is gold in the journey.
Mhm. And that's what you teach your clients to kind of find.
That's one of the things. We
Mhm.
have big dreams, and I'm working with people who are ambitious and going for the stars.
Yeah.
But I don't. We untag from chasing goals,
Yeah.
because when you chase goals, goals run away.
Yeah.
So it is around creating a process and a strategy that is so in alignment with who you are,
Mhm.
your soul strategy, so that there's so much satisfaction
Mhm.
in the process,
Mhm. Mhm.
whilst you're still receiving the big results
Mhm.
along the way. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, and that's what, I'm sure like the people have big dreams and desires, and it's okay to have big dreams, but be grateful and be here at the same time, Because sometimes when we are chasing, it takes us out from the present, but we don't have to do that. We can still desire, but be truly fulfilled and present at the same time. So the next question I want to ask you is about balancing business and family.
Mhm.
So how would you say, as a wife and a mother, how do you balance your business and your family time? Any tips for, other entrepreneurs out there?
Mhm. So for me, I change the cycles in which I work depending on what feels aligned for me. So I don't have one set system for working or one set schedule for working. I intuitively know when I want to change it.
Mm,
Okay, so I'm always connected with my vision. Okay, so the vision for the next level of family, the vision for the next level of business, and I'm tweaking the energy that I'm applying into my business alongside that, and that can change on a weekly basis.
mhm,
Okay, I do have some general rules around this. Again, this is for me. So for me, I like to keep my working hours within school hours.
mhm,
Like, there is the odd call that I might do after school, but really 90% of the time, most days when the kids are finished school, I have my phone away, I have some family time, and we just enjoy connecting.
mhm,
Okay, so it's really about getting that balance, looking at what's important, what are your goals for your family, what do you want, what do you want your day to day to look like, and what do you want for your business, what's important and what matters. And that will change. So you might have a vision for your year. And
mhm,
when you break that down per quarter, per week, per month, there'll be different things going on. So it's
mhm,
about staying connected to your vision and staying connected to your priorities and adapting the time.
mhm,
So for me, it's about constant readjustment, to be honest. Like, if I feel that there's been more energy in that area, then I'll make sure I'm planning in an additional date night, or like taking the family somewhere, or sometimes it's just about coming home and closing the curtains and locking the doors and having a movie night with popcorn if there's been more energy in the business. So it's that constant readjustment, and it's intentional heart-led living, right? When we're so connected to what matters and what's important in our business, as well as for our family, as well as from ourselves,
mhm,
then we're looking at that on a daily basis. We're looking at the week's view and making those adjustments as we need it. And this is something that I help clients to do, and everyone's schedule, everyone's balance, everyone's harmony looks completely different. So it really is first and foremost about tuning into what is that truth for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. That's a beautiful reminder for myself as well. That we need to be connected to the vision and the timeline that we have and the things that are coming up for us in our families. So yeah, definitely that family comes first, and yeah, we can continuously readjust. Okay, so I'd like us to talk about your membership. If you can share more about your self-sourced membership and what's included, and for anyone that's interested to join.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. So, the Self Source membership is a platform that I've set up specifically for heart led entrepreneurs. It's a 12-month journey that encompasses high performance business coaching, your business strategy, synced with the deep spiritual work, the healing, the energetics, the personal development. And I also have some amazing people from my network who come in and teach and train and do activations on areas that are outside of my zone of genius. So whether it's financial forecasting, whether it's biohacking, we had someone in last week teaching on tantra, which was amazing. So I wanted to create a space for entrepreneurs where we could come in and have that full support, and for it to feel like a playground as well. So it's for people who are invested in self growth, who are invested in personal development, who are ambitious, okay, where you're coming in and you're fully supported strategically and your with your financial goals, your business growth goals, as well as spiritually, as well as with the energy work and all of the personal development work.
Mhm.
There are two levels to the membership that will meet people depending on where they're at in their journey. There's a level called Self Source Next Level, and this is for more startups. So people who are really looking to create that consistent 5 to 10K months, specifically for coaches, healers, practitioners who are typically selling by the hour, like the hourly model, time for money. And we support you to create transformational experience in those consistent 5 to 10K months.
Mhm.
And then there's self-sourced high level. So this is for 6 and 7 figure business owners, and it's the high level business coaching. So
Mhm.
it's an incredible space. It's a space that I'm extremely passionate about, and I'm so grateful to have some incredible entrepreneurs in the space doing amazing things.
Amazing. And of course, we'll have the links to those for those of you who are interested. You can have a look, you can read more about it and join if this is something that calls to you. And also, you have a free masterclass as well. So we will link that as well. Can you tell us more about the masterclass?
Yes, so I have a free masterclass called Success on Your Terms. And this is about getting in, like we were talking about in this conversation, supporting you to get out of your head and into your heart, to
Mhm.
tap into that bigger vision for your business and for your life. Okay, redefining what success means for you. And I guide you through a process of creating that strategy and creating a new belief system that aligns with what you want to create in your business and in your life.
Mhm. That's beautiful. And I think if anyone's interested, you could do the free masterclass first just to, see for yourself and experience this beautiful, beautiful transformation in your own lives. And then if you decide to, then join the memberships, any of the memberships that suits you and, where you are in your business and in your life. And there will be things like overcoming scarcity mindset and doing the hard work, the energy work, and reprogramming belief systems. So this will be an amazing journey for you to kind of add to your practice and help you so much in your life and your business. So yes, the links will be available for you. So lastly, I would like to ask you if you have any advice for the entrepreneurs listening, um, for their life and their business?
Yes, one final thing. So, regardless of where you are in your journey, there's always that next level, right? So, whether you're at a point where you feel a bit stuck, or whether you're at a point where you feel like everything's amazing, what is the next level? And quite often we just go on autopilot, right? Life is busy, and we just move. And it's really about stepping into being that leader of your life. And I would encourage everyone to take space to tune in and start to create that vision for themselves, that vision for their life, and go big with it. Like tap into what's that more upon more upon more. How big can you go with this? How delicious can you go with this? How big does your business look? Like, what does your relationship look like when you've got so much love, so much connection, so much fun, so much joy? Like, what would you just love your family life, your friendship groups to look like? Like, tap into this until it's like a full on, like, experiential experience. You can see it, you can feel it, you can smell it. Like, all of this, what I would encourage everyone to do,
Mm,
then look at it every single day in the morning when you're sitting with your matcha or your coffee before you get into your meditation. Look at your life script and it will change. Mine changes all the time, it
mm,
gets bigger. But look at this. That's going to do two things. Your reticular activating system, the RSS part of your brain, is
mhm,
going to work in overdrive to make it happen. So, a subconscious level, your mind will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to make this come true because your attention's on it. When you connect to this vision on a daily basis, your energy will also recalibrate to that. So every single time you connect into that, you will change your energetic signature.
mm,
Okay. More and more and more every day, you become a vibrational match to that. When you also take that into your meditation, you accelerate that. When you take it into your heart, the heart's the hack. You accelerate that. The
mm,
universe starts to co create with you. This is when the universe starts to rearrange things for you. You think of someone and they call you. You
mm.
get an opportunity, you start magnetizing people. Things just start to flow in a completely different way. And it just becomes undeniable that it's a reflection of your energy.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
regardless of where you are in your journey, like that tool that I've just shared, if any of my clients are listening to this, they'll all be laughing because I get everyone to do it and it's so powerful. It's the life script method. And
Mm,
just come back to that consistently and
mhm,
on repeat.
mhm.
Do it for a month as an experiment and see what happens after 30 days.
That's beautiful. And yes, that will really show you what's possible for you because sometimes we can be in disbelief of, what's possible for me. Oh, it's yes for other people, but it's not going to happen for me. So we can actually start believing in what's actually possible. And if you want to experience that thing, we can. So yes, thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful advice. And thank you so much for being here, for speaking to us, giving us your wisdom. And yes, I'm so, so grateful to speak with you and to have this conversation, which I believe is important conversations that, we need to be having more often, so we can grow together as a society and, yeah, create a beautiful reality for all of us. So thank you so much again for being here. And yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. So today it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour to join you today and co-create this powerful conversation for change. I feel so activated in your energy. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm so, so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so beautiful to hear. I believe that conversations are activations, they can activate us. So I loved having this conversation with you. So I'm sending you so much love and everybody listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Yay! Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
That was beautiful. I feel really, really good and so much wisdom and really, I'm sure so many people will benefit from these conversations.
Thank you so much. I loved having this conversation with you. It just felt so powerful the way that everything flowed, and I feel so activated. Like your energy is just so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And me too. I feel really amazing, really great. And yeah, I'm sure there is more to create for both of us and for everyone listening as well. It's beautiful energy, and yeah, I'm gonna keep this energy for the whole day.
I'm gonna keep this energy for the whole day. Amazing.
Yeah.
I will pop you my number, so we'll keep connected, and I'm sure there'll be other opportunities and things to connect. But it's really beautiful to be connected with you, and I'm looking forward to what's to unfold for the journey together.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Yes, please do. We'll keep in touch. I'll create everything. I'll put the podcasts, on Spotify, on podcasters, on YouTube. I'll send you the link to all of them and then I'll post it on everywhere and on Instagram as well. And I'll tag you. And yes, we'll stay in touch for
Amazing.
anything else that comes up in the future.
Definitely, definitely. And if there's anything that I can do to support you, then reach out anytime.
Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.